All right. Hello and welcome everyone to today's live questions and answers all on aging. So we asked for your guys' questions over the weekend. You guys sent in some really great questions and we're so excited to answer them for you. We're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. So my name is Sarah Robbins. I'm the Director of Education here at GlyMed Plus, and I'm a Master Esthetician in the state of Utah.
And my name is Tracey Kimball. I'm also a master esthetician, and I work for GlyMed Plus as a national educator. Love my job. We have great jobs, don't we?
We do. We're very, very fortunate, very lucky, for sure. Today we're going to talk all about aging, and we're going to answer some questions that you guys sent in. But before we dive into that, I actually just want to do a quick run through of the website because we have so many requests for how to get content that we've been creating this month. So I want to make sure to just do a quick run through so that you guys can find everything, and then we'll jump into the questions that we were asked about aging. So real quick, this is our website. So I'm on our website now, and as soon as you go onto the website, you're automatically on the home page, which you can always get back to the home page by clicking on the home tab here. And then this carousel, we call it a carousel, has almost all the information that's going to be important or relevant. So if you need to find something, it's usually in this carousel, and you can actually access the different slides by these little spheres here at the bottom. And so this is a really great place to go to if you're looking for specific information. So the first carousel is actually everything about our virtual esthetician. And then the next carousel, the second carousel, is actually everything to do with the content that we're producing for the month of April. So if you look here, you can see that every week we are focusing on different skin conditions. This week we're specifically focused on aging, and that's why it's highlighted. But last week we did everything on rosacea, and then next week we're doing hyperpigmentation and then acne. So if you want to actually access this content, you're going to click on that carousel and it will bring you to this page, and it will have whatever is the newest content that was released will be at the top. Okay, and then everything else will be located underneath it. So today, after we're done filming this live Q&A with everyone, it will be available to watch again on this section here. And if you scroll down, so for next week's live on Wednesday, the live Q&A, there will be a Zoom button, so you can actually click it and it'll take you straight to this live meeting that we're having. So if that's something you want to join next week, we're talking about hyperpigmentation, you can get to it there. And then if you scroll down, you can see every day we have different theme content. So we have Tips and Tricks Tuesday, which yesterday's live training will actually be available here later today on the website. So it will be in this Tips and Tricks Tuesday for aging, and then you'll also be able to find it in our webinars tab, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But it will be located here on this page. And if you keep scrolling down, you can see all the content that we are producing for the month of April. So Monday, me and Tracey did our aging podcast. You can listen to it there. And then it goes into last week's material, which was all about rosacea. So again, everything that we did is going to be located on this page. So, the live trainings that we're doing on Tuesday, the one that we did yesterday was on oxygen peeling for aging skin. It will be available on this page, or you can also find it in our webinars. So if you click on webinars, you have to be signed in to see the webinar. So you'll just sign in. And then the webinar will be right here. All the newest webinars that go up will be the first one listed. So you can actually find that training later today. It will be right here. So you can find it in our webinar tab. Again, if you want to go to the home page, just hit the home page. This is everything to do with virtual esthetician. So if you click on it, again, everything you need to become a virtual esthetician is going to be located on this landing page. So if you need help with like setting up your social media, Instagram, for instance, we have tons of tips and tricks, how to get started on Instagram. We have tips for working from home, especially since this is like a whole new territory for a lot of us who are used to working in a salon. We have some tips and tricks for working at home. We have email templates that you can send to your clients to let them know, like, hey, I'm doing virtual aesthetics. You can still purchase products from me. So lots of resources in the virtual esthetician tab. And again, it's just going to be located on the homepage. It's the first carousel. And then the second carousel has all the content that we are doing for the month of April.
We are putting out content every single day, including Saturday. So please get with us. Come back to our website. Check out all our information. Love our webinars, our blogs. All of this is great. It's free for you to use and access. And right now is a downtime. It is time for you to build your education, really hone your skills. This is a great time to do that.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say that if you haven't checked out our podcast for aging, I'm actually going to go ahead and pull it up just a second. If you haven't checked out our podcast for aging, I definitely recommend that you do. We cover all of these topics here. We have what is aging, extrinsic and intrinsic factors, contributors, different forms, the Glow Gal scale, and then we talk about keeping the skin active and wearing SPF. So if you haven't, please check out our podcast. We're 100% biased because Tracey and I are the one who have done it.
Exactly.
But I think it's a really great podcast. Don't you agree?
I do. And we've gotten some great feedback. So I think we hit it.
Yeah, I think it's a really great resource too. So please check out our podcast if you haven't yet. So let's go ahead and dive into our questions and answers, all geared towards aging. So
fantastic. Well, before we start, Sarah, I just want to say aging is a privilege, especially during this COVID-19 period in our lives. This is something we'll always remember. But remember, aging is a privilege. So what we say at GlyMed Plus is that we don't mind aging. We just want to age gracefully, right?
Yes, 100%. Aging is inevitable. We all are going to age. And like Tracey said, we 100% believe it's a privilege. Not everyone is so lucky to age and grow old. So it is something to be cherished. We love, fine lines and wrinkles. Everyone has different opinions. Tracey and I happen to think that they're beautiful. They add character. But like we say, we want to age gracefully. And so at the end of the day, the number one job that we're trying to achieve is making sure that the skin is aging at a healthy state, and that we're helping to keep the skin healthy during that transition. So that's what we like to do.
Do you want me to start with the questions? Should we just jump right in?
Yes. So we asked this weekend for questions and you guys submitted them. Tracey's going to go ahead and read them and we'll answer them. And then the last 10-15 minutes, we'll open up the chat and answer any questions that we received throughout this presentation. So if you guys have questions, please put them in the chat room and we'll make sure to answer them at the end.
Okay, here we go. Anti-aging peels benefits, how to use. What a great question, because peels are fantastic. There are so many different benefits that you get from doing chemical peels. You're going to be boosting your collagen and elastin production, as well as hyaluronic acid. It's also something that is going to influence the dermis, where those actually are. So this is a great benefit of peeling. It also boosts your immune cells, which are helping to keep your skin active. And another benefit is exfoliation. So there are a lot of benefits that come from using chemical peels with aging.
Yeah, chemical peels are, personally, they are my favorite treatment to do in the treatment room, because I just think there's so much that you can do with them. And like Tracey said, chemical peels are a great way to influence that dermis, which is where your fibroblasts, which make your collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, is located. And you do that by what you apply to the epidermis. So I think chemical peels just are going to help boost the radiance. They help plump and firm the skin. And then of course, help with any texture issues as well.
Right. And then how to use them. And this really is dependent on your client. I mean, we can't give a one answer that covers all. You need to really assess your client, making sure that you're addressing the concerns that they have, which is also a key. You may see a ton of hyperpigmentation on their skin, but what they are more worried about are the wrinkles. Mm-hmm. So making sure that you are addressing what your client is actually wanting done, and then making sure that you're going after what they need. So different chemical peels are going to do different things, but making sure that you're addressing their needs first and their wants.
Yeah, absolutely. Focus on what their concerns are. And I really like to alternate between chemical peels. I don't think someone should only be receiving lactics or only be receiving TCAs. You really should be alternating the chemical solutions that you're using in the treatment room.
All right, the next question. Microchanneling versus microneedling. Good question, huh?
It's a great question, yeah. Microchanneling and microneedling are essentially the same treatment. However, there are different states that don't allow the verbiage for microneedling. And so typically in the industry, we use microchanneling when we are referring to a more superficial tip on the machine. So it's usually like a nano tip that has like either silicone tips, and it's not going to be nearly as aggressive as an actual needle tip. So that's usually the difference between the two, is that microchanneling is going to be gentle exfoliation using a nano tip, where microneedling is going to be a little bit more aggressive and you are using a needle tip. So
great. Love both of them for aging. They're fantastic. I worked with a plastic surgeon, and when I asked him specifically, tell me what you recommend for anti-aging, his answer was microneedling, microchanneling, because it is so beneficial to the skin.
Yeah, it's really, really
great. Actually preferred that over lasers. So, and I agree with him on that. So, okay. The amount of peel passes or layering peels, and then also cocktailing. So this is a fantastic question. There are so many different peels that we're going to talk about when we're discussing anti-aging. And some of them are going to be layered peels and some will be time peels. Now, depending on your client, you will make the decision of how many passes or layers you're going to put on the skin, or how long the chemical peel is actually on the skin, because you don't want to be too aggressive with the skin, and you also want to make sure that you're not that you're giving them the best service that you can. So there are multiple ways. I'm going to let you finish up about that one.
Yeah, so like Tracey was saying, how many passes depends on what you're trying to achieve in the treatment room. So how gentle or aggressive you're going to be. With our layered peels, you can do anywhere from 2 to 4 passes. So again, it just depends on what you're trying to achieve in the treatment. And then cocktailing chemical peels is a really great question. And it's something that I'll touch on, but I highly suggest and I recommend that you get training and get certified with cocktailing chemical peels. That is something that we do offer here at GlyMed Plus. But I strongly believe that you need to understand what you're doing when you're mixing acid solutions together and the effects that's going to have on the skin. So it's not something that I just want to throw out there. You really need to understand what you're doing when you're actually cocktailing chemical peels. But there's lots of different ways to cocktail chemical peels. You can actually add 2 different chemical peels together, and there's a specific reason why you would do that. Or you can actually do layers of different chemical peels. So you can apply a certain solution to the skin and then go on top of it with a different chemical peel. So that's a way to cocktail. And then you can actually buffer your chemical peels as well. Let's say you have a chemical peel that you really love the benefits that it provides to the skin, but maybe your client isn't fully prepped for it, or you're a little bit nervous to see how they'll actually respond to it. You can actually buffer that chemical peel by adding in like a moisturizer, and that way it's lowering the activity, but you're still getting benefits of the acids in it. And then you can even boost masks and certain products with chemical peels as well. So again, I just wanted to touch on it, but I strongly suggest that you go get training on it, and that's something you get certified in, because it's so important that you understand what you're doing when you're actually mixing chemical peel solutions.
Great. Okay, managing client expectations. They always want a quick fix.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I think we all are in that. We live in this society where it's instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
So your clients are going to want the same thing with their skin. However, you need to help them understand it took you 20, 30, 40 years for your skin to get to this condition. So now we're going to take a little bit more time and solve your problem and help you with this issue. So you have to realize they are coming to you because you are the expert.
Yeah.
They trust you, or they wouldn't be in your treatment area, and they haven't been educated. So you need to teach them and explain to them what expectations they should be expecting. And really, honestly, I would never give a time frame. 3 pills and you're going to have this gone. That's not an answer to give somebody, because different people are going to react different ways. Also, home care is huge in our industry. Making sure that their skin is staying active, that they're treating it properly. 80% of the improvements that you're going to see in your treatments come from home care. Mm-hmm. So making sure that you are constantly setting that expectation from the get-go.
Yeah, I love that Tracey said home care, 80%. I think it's such a miss and a disservice to our clients if we do not put them on professional home care, because that genuinely is going to be where they're going to see a difference in their skin. Some verbiage that I like to use when I'm talking to my client, because I totally get it, everyone is wanting results now. Like everyone thinks everything should be a one and done. Okay, everything should be fixed in one treatment, and that's just not the world that we live in. But I always like to talk to my clients about it's similar to like working your muscles. Okay, let's say you're trying to build muscles in your thighs. You don't just go to the gym one time and then leave with muscular thighs, right? No, you have to actually go. It takes time and commitment to sit there and work your thighs. So you're going to go a couple times a week to the gym and work out your thighs. And you're going to build it up and strengthen that muscle. And then once you get it there, you can't just stop doing everything and expect it to stay. It's not going to be a one and done forever thing, right? You actually have to maintain that muscle. And so you have to continue to do things to keep that muscle in that muscular state. Now, maintaining the muscle is going to be a lot easier than it was to actually build it up. And I explain that to my client. Once we get your skin to a healthier state, we just need to make sure that we're maintaining that health of the skin. And so that's how I like to explain it to my client. It kind of gives them a visual or something that they can understand. And it's the same thing. You can't just do one treatment and expect the skin to be 20 years younger. Okay, you actually have to work towards it. And then once you get there, you have to continue to maintain it to help keep it at that state.
Fantastic. Okay, next question. I'm 25 and have a slight wrinkle from RBF or 11s, what they're known as. Do you offer a product I should be using now? This is a great question, because so often you're going to get these clients that all of a sudden in their 20s, they're like, wait a minute, wrinkles are for old people, right?
It's happening. It's happening.
Help, help, help. But so fantastic to train them at this young age how to take care of their skin, how to keep their skin active and healthy. Because honestly, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And that's Ben Franklin said that. And I love that because it's true. Starting your clients on products when they are younger is going to help them as they age.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's a really great question and one that we get asked all the time. Some products that we recommend are going to be the Wrinkle Remedy with drone technology is an awesome, awesome treatment for anyone that wants to target fine lines and wrinkles. It's really good for prevention, so just start using it now to prevent that formation, but it's also good for anyone that already has the fine lines and wrinkles present. And so Wrinkle Remedy actually has a really cool ingredient that we call drone technology. If you want to learn more about drone technology, we actually have a full webinar geared towards that. And so you can actually see animations and more in depth on how it works. But Wrinkle Remedy is really going to help to inhibit the communication channels for that contraction. And it's really going to help to plump the skin to help reduce the appearance of that fine line and wrinkle.
Love both of those products.
Yeah, and then there's another one that we love, and it's one of our newer ones. And Tracey,
Sorry.
do you want to introduce that one? No, you're good.
I absolutely love this product, and it truly works. Some people are like, oh, yeah. No, this one really is fantastic. It is called our Cbd Regenerative Eye Cream, and it is amazing. They have actually done some studies on this, and they have shown that this eye cream will increase your collagen 1 by 119%. Mm-hmm. Collagen 1 is what helps with your wrinkles. When you start losing your collagen 1, you're going to start seeing wrinkles. So this product actually increases that collagen 1 by 119% in as little as 30 to 60 days. Mm-hmm. So you are going to see differences with this one. We've got some great pictures of befores and afters on our Instagram page. Fantastic product. Love it.
It's awesome. Like Tracey is saying, it's helping to influence that collagen 1. And if you don't know, collagen 1 specifically, it's located in many places in the body, but the majority of it is actually in our epidermal-dermal junction, which is the layer between your epidermis and your dermis. And so it's literally what's tightening that dermis. So you're going to see a lot of that lifting and firming with collagen 1 specifically. So it's pretty amazing that in just 60 days, this eye cream can increase that collagen 1 by 119%. Like, that's just ridiculous.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, that's in my top 5.
Your top 5?
Yeah. Yes.
Tracey and I have top 10 and top 5 lists. So
right.
To let you know which one falls where.
Okay, next question. What is the best routine for clients whose skin is already aged, someone between the ages of 70 and 80? And this is really great because you do get these clients that come in and they're like, help me, I need some help here. And they maybe are starting a little bit later in life, but let's help them.
Yeah.
Let's use those active, the AHA active, the AHA accelerator. Fantastic product. It's going to keep the skin active. It's going to turn over those cells. Remember, our cells start to become sluggish as we get older. So by the time you're 70, I'm not really sure how many days, but it's going to take several days really to get that skin to turn over. So keeping it active, using peptides to help strengthen and provide those peptides to the skin is really, really important.
Yeah, I think Tracey's absolutely right. Doesn't matter what age you are. As soon as aging starts to occur in the skin, everything starts to slow down. Your cellular functions slow down as you get older. And so you want to make sure you're looking for ingredients that are going to specifically help with encouraging that skin regeneration. So she said AHAs, so alpha hydroxy acids, are awesome because they're going to start to gently exfoliate. They're going to increase that mitosis. So they're going to start to waken those cells back up. And then using active peptides that are going to specifically boost collagen and elastin and help to rebuild and refirm the skin are going to be crucial for anyone that already has like aging present. So I love that you hit both of those.
I think also that DNA, face and neck. Okay, again, top 5, okay? And I'm going out for all the anti-aging products I can get, right? But this one is fantastic. It has in it what's called the Ootweiler spot lauber. That's what it is. Ootweiler spot lauber. And this is actually a stem cell, and it comes from an apple from Switzerland. And this actual stem cell, the person that discovered it actually won a Nobel Prize because it is such a remarkable ingredient. So we use this in our DNA face and neck, and it will actually help with that regeneration process.
Yeah, the DNA face and neck is fantastic for the neck and décolleté area, but even the face and like the jawline specifically is where it's going to really shine. So it does have that awesome stem cell in there, but it also has astragalus root. And if you don't know, astragalus root actually works with your skin's telomeres, and your telomeres are located in your cell's DNA. And it actually, astragalus root helps to lengthen the telomeres or repair them. And if the telomeres get too short, that cell actually dies, and that's what's aging the skin. So when you use DNA face and neck, you're actually prolonging or slowing down aging in the skin, because you're actually preventing that cell from dying off. And so you're actually helping to delay aging in the skin, which is really, really cool if you think about that. So
love it.
Yeah.
And like my last ingredient that I would say would be vitamin C. Our vitamin C serums and creams. Fantastic. They're wonderful as antioxidants. They're going to help fight that free radical damage. So if you don't have every client on a vitamin C product, I would highly recommend that.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Okay. Any truly effective alternatives to Botox?
This is a great question, and one I think we get asked all the time, Tracy, right?
We do.
Now, I just want to say that there's nothing that's going to be nearly as powerful or as strong as Botox, because Botox works directly with the muscle. So you're actually working with the muscle. But there are ingredients and products you can use to help to inhibit that communication channel, and that will help to give Botox-like effects, but it's not going to be nearly as strong as Botox. Okay, and some ingredients that you want to look for are specifically neuropeptides, because neuropeptides work with your skin neurons, and what they do is they help to inhibit the communication to actually lift or to contract a muscle. So I always use the example of like lifting your brow. Now, these neuropeptides will help to buffer that communication or inhibit them. So you're still going to be able to lift your brow, but it would be less intense than if you weren't using that ingredient, okay? So that's how it's going to help to reduce the fine lines and wrinkles that can be associated with that movement. And then it also is great to use in conjunction with Botox, because it helps to prolong the length of your Botox. So like a few of my favorite ones, again, Wrinkle Remedy is going to be awesome. Intense Peptide is also a fantastic product, because you're getting neuropeptides and even tissue building peptides in that product.
All right, fantastic. Next is, what's a good under eye cream? This is a great question, because really you start to see aging around your eyes very quickly. Mm-hmm. So it depends on the client and what they need. So depending on their age, maybe they're in their 20s and they're just looking for something to start with that preventative care. You would want to use something like our Eye Calm. Our Eye Calm is a fantastic one for someone in that age range. And then the anti-wrinkle eye cream. As we get older, we want to make sure that we're using a product that will be a little bit more, have those emollients and the lipids in them. They're going to actually go in and moisturize that skin. It will help with any of that crepiness that you'll start to see. And then, of course, we have the Cbd Eye Cream, and that one is, again, fantastic. You can cocktail these together. You don't have to just use one product. You can use multiple products depending on what you're trying to address.
Yeah, all three of our eye creams are awesome, but they all serve a different purpose. So I think it's just important to understand what you're trying to help your client again, what is their biggest concern, and then choosing the appropriate product for that. And Tracey actually did a wonderful webinar, Product Knowledge, all about our eye creams and our lip products. So please check that out if you want like more in-depth information on each product. So,
okay. The best peel for aging after a 2 series of 5-berry.
That is a great question. Again, it's going to depend on what your client's main concerns are. So I'll give a few examples. If she's done 2 series of 5-berry, she's pretty much prepped. But if your client is concerned with like pigmentation, I would then recommend that the next peel would be the TCA 15 or Lactics. Because those are both really good for pigmentation specifically. Now, if your client is more concerned with like maybe aging and acne, I would do the vitamin A peel because that's going to be best suited for that. And then if the client is more concerned with that loss of luminosity, so if they have like that dullness, they've lost that plumpness and firmness to the skin, I would then recommend alpha hydroxy acids or AHAs. So it just depends on what your client's needs are, which will be your next step. And at GlyMed Plus, we don't believe that everyone, I know we said this earlier, but I'm just going to reinstate it, but we don't believe that everyone should just be using one peel. You should be alternating between them. Because just like when you go to the gym and you're working out your legs, you're not just going and working out your legs, right? You should be working out different parts of the body, and you don't do just legs every time you go in. The same things with chemical peels. You should be alternating between your chemical peels to make sure that you're helping with many different things in the skin. So.
Okay. Next question. Adult acne and PIH. What's the best product for treatment? Let's just break that up. Adult acne is, unfortunately, that is more of a hormonal acne. It is tough to get rid of because you really have to treat the condition that is causing this hormonal activity before you'll really see it go away. So you're not going to get a complete treatment and cure them of adult acne if their hormones aren't in check, in balance. So, but to treat it, when you've got that grade 3 and 4 acne where it's active, open lesions, you don't want to use a salicylic product. Probably your better bet in this case would be a benzoyl peroxide product. Something that's actually going to go in, it's going to oxygenate that pore. Remember that the 3 components of an acne lesion are bacteria, oil, and then dead skin cells. So if you're removing one of those components, you're actually able to see a reduction in your acne lesions. So that benzoyl peroxide is going to go in, it's going to oxygenate the skin. We know that bacteria cannot be present with oxygen, so it's going to help kill that bacteria. Your salicylic products, they are going to go in and they're actually going to help reduce the amount of oil that is on the skin. It's going to break it down. And that would be better for your grades 1 and 2 acne. Other products that would be great would be your retinols. They're going to help exfoliate the skin, get rid of that dead skin cell buildup that is also a component of acne. So those are some great products and ingredients to look at.
Yeah. And then specifically for that PIH or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, you just want to make sure that your client is using a tyrosinase inhibitor. And there's many different levels to tyrosinase inhibitors, but anytime that you're trying to correct a pigmentation disorder, you have to be using a tyrosinase inhibitor and you have to be using SPF. If your client isn't going to commit to using both, then there's no point in even trying to correct it because you have to have both in order to reduce that pigmentation. And that PIH is pigment. It's very superficial pigment that's just left behind after inflammation has been in the skin. So it's one of the easier pigmentation disorders to care for because it is more superficial. So I would just make sure that they're using something like Living Cell, our Skin Brightener, or even Diamond Bright. Those are all great options for tyrosinase inhibitors.
I love it. Also, with our upcoming trainings, we're going to take an entire week and talk about hyperpigmentation, which is a little plug here. That is next week. So tune in again and you'll get more information on that. Okay. Does GlyMed have a product that helps with sagging of the jowls and upper neck area? I'm telling you, I fight this. And what I have actually seen great improvement with my own, I call it my gobbler, my turkey gobbler. Yeah, what I have seen the best results from is using that DNA face and neck. It's actually got those stem cells. It's going to go in, it's going to tighten up the skin. Another one, again, is that Wrinkle Remedy. It has that drone technology that we were talking about. I encourage you to go out to our website and take a look at that information. Our drone technology is unique in the way that we have actually micro-encapsulated that technology. So go out, take a look at it. But those are two products that I personally have seen help me with my turkey gobbler.
Tracey's ridiculous. She has gorgeous skin.
Thank you, Sarah.
But yeah, I agree with her. I agree with her. Both of those products are going to be awesome for lifting that jawline. And you want to make sure you're using specific ingredients, and that drone technology is a great one for that area. So,
okay. Next, the best GlyMed treatment for aging. Wow. Well, first of all, I'm going to put out there the best treatment for aging is SPF. And we recommend this for every client, regardless of their age. In fact, mothers, get your kids using SPF at a young age. As they grow up, they will thank you because their skin is going to look amazing. Okay, so start your kids young on SPF and continue that. And then the other part of that is home care. Remember, we said 80% of the treatment, your results will come from home care. So making it an everyday thing. Again, start your teens, get them on active products, help them look the best they can. They will love you and praise you in their 50s like no other, right?
Yep. And then if you're looking for treatment specific products, we love the DermaSound. It's such an awesome tool. Almost anyone can come in and receive a DermaSound treatment. And it's just a great way to really help influence that dermis, specifically for keeping the collagen and elastin boosted. And then chemical peels and microneedling are going to be awesome anti-aging treatments in the treatment room. But I love that Tracey specifically talked about home care and SPF, because at the end of the day, it's the home care that's going to make the biggest difference for our clients. And it's such a disservice not to make sure that your client is using a pharmaceutical grade product or professional grade, because if they're not getting it from you, they're going to get it from somewhere else. And we know that our professional grade products are 100 times better than anything that they can get at Sephora or at Nordstrom's, Dillard's. I mean, it's just not even the same category. So such a disservice not to make sure your clients are on home care. And I want to just touch on something that Tracey said. I always got so mad at my mom when I was younger, because she would always just lather us in, it was called sunblock then, but obviously it's not that anymore. But she just lather us in it. And I used to hate it because like my older sister got to lay out with tanning oil, and then my mom was drenching us in sunblock. But now I'm like forever grateful that she did that, and she instilled such an important lesson.
Yes, definitely.
Oh.
And then another point to make is when you're doing chemical peels or microneedling, build into the cost of that their treatment, their home treatment products.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it can be sample sizes, it doesn't have to be full size products, but make sure they're going home with products that will help to extend the life of the treatment that they're getting.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, that's a great tip.
Okay. Next, for healthy aging skin that's postmenopausal, what's your favorite home product? Well, and this really, again, depends on what their skin has done as it's gone through menopause. Everyone's skin goes through menopause differently. You may see dryness. You may see wrinkles, dullness, pigmentation. So you want to make sure that your home products are geared toward what they are seeing in their skin. So keeping the skin active is a great thing, making sure they have products that are addressing some of these conditions that actually come up. I know that my skin, as I've aged, has really taken on wrinkles. And I started that at a young age. And so I was constantly trying to fight my wrinkles. Other people, it might be dryness. I know here in Utah, we live in a very dry climate. And so dryness will always creep up when someone is going through menopause. Mm-hmm. So keeping your product specific to the condition that their skin actually is faced with.
Yeah, it's such a good point, because menopause creates a lot of different side effects in the skin, and everyone is so different. So you just have to gear it towards what actually is present with that client. So.
Okay, that's the end of my questions.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat. We did get quite a few questions throughout this, so I'm going to go ahead and ask those, and we'll answer them for you guys. So the first question that we got asked is, what chemical peels are great for cuperose or sensitive or rosacea skin? And that is a great question. So anyone that has cuperose skin is very similar to rosacea. They have that telangiectasia, they have texture, and they definitely have inflamed and sensitive skin. So we would just consider that all one group, which is going to be sensitive or rosacea based. And there's actually a few things that you can recommend as a chemical peel. Number one, I would do the Oxygen Skin Regenerative Peel, because it's going to be very superficial. Oxygen actually helps to strengthen those capillary walls. And then it has 5% lactic acid, which is going to help to gently exfoliate the skin. It also will help if it is rosacea. It's going to help with that Demodex mite infestation. And then it's just going to be really good for more sensitive skin. So you're getting that boost of collagen and elastin by using a gentle exfoliation. And then the other one I would do is the Intense Antioxidant Professional Exfoliator, which we just call the pumpkin pill for obvious reasons. But that's also a really good one for sensitive or a rosacea client, because again, it has 5% lactic acid, and then it's using enzymes, pumpkin enzymes, to actually exfoliate the dead skin on the surface. So both of those are really, really good for rosacea or sensitive skin.
And really, what is sensitive skin? It's generally the fact that someone has a compromised barrier. So before you get going on some of these higher active ingredients, make sure that lipid barrier, that natural barrier, is in a healthy state. You never want to go in and start putting some of these things on someone's skin until it is. I know that we love our stem cell, is it protection serum? It is like liquid gold. It's got all the essential lipids and fatty acids that your skin needs to get healthy and remain healthy.
Yeah, so this actually brings me to another question that we asked, and that is, what do you recommend for sensitive or compromised skin? And I would say the number one product that I always recommend if someone is very sensitive or has a compromised barrier is the Cell Protection Serum, what Tracey just said. We call it liquid gold because it's basically the liquid barrier. It drenches the skin in all the ingredients it needs to be in a healthier state. So if you have someone with compromised skin, that's absolutely a great recommendation. Also, I recommend Rosacea Relief. Even if my client doesn't have rosacea, let's just say they have very sensitive skin, Rosacea Relief is a really great option because it's packed with ingredients that are there to help with irritation, inflammation, and a compromised barrier. So such a great option for them to use as well.
Do you know a different way you can use Rosacea Relief besides with the cuperose or the telangiectasia skin?
Tell us.
All right, I will tell you. Love using Rosacea Relief under the eyes for dark circles. It actually, now this wouldn't be genetically disposed dark circles. This would be something more like sleep deprived or allergies, those kinds of things that are causing those dark circles. But it's a fantastic one. It goes in, it helps to plug those minute holes with a horse chestnut, and it's going to help with your strengthen your capillary walls underneath your eyes. So that's a little tip and trick there too.
Yeah, so good. So good. I know we missed that one in the eye cream one, right?
Right.
Okay, so the next question is, what pills are great for summer months or if you live in a sunny state?
I love this question because it seems like people are always wanting to get something done during, give me a TCA during the summer. Guys, you don't want to be doing those types of things with your clients because we don't know how they are protecting their skin. And we certainly don't want to cause any post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation by doing the wrong peel at the wrong time. So my favorite is the youth age defying peel. You're gonna have to tell me what these names on these products, some of them are a little bit long. I'm still learning them. I'm still new to GlyMed, but
yeah, we got the youth firm pill.
That youth firm pill is a fantastic one.
Yeah.
There's no downtime with that one. So that's one of the reasons you would want to use this one during the summer.
Yeah, and it's a great one, especially if you have a client that's like heavy on chemical peels. You can actually retail the youth firm peel, and it's not a true chemical peel. It's using enzymes to help exfoliate the skin, and it creates less than 5% sensitivity. So it's a great one to repolish and resurface the skin and also make your client feel like they're getting the treatment that they are wanting. But also the oxygen peel is a great chemical peel during the summer months because, again, it's very superficial. It's mainly using oxygen and 5% lactic acid. So those two are fantastic during the summer months. And then I would even say the pumpkin peel, the intense antioxidant, is also a great one for the summertime.
I love that you mentioned that it has 5% lactic, because anytime you're using an AHA above 5%, you're going to get that, it becomes a tyrosinase inhibitor. Mm-hmm. So it's great to use during the summer months when they're out in the sun, maybe not protecting their skin as well as they should, but it's a fantastic one. Love it.
It really is. Yeah. And I know our clients are always the exception. So
that's right.
Like, it's not going to hurt that I just do it this once. And it's like, no, it hurts every time you do it. So
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Another question we got, is when doing chemical peels on a client, is there a certain portion of the body that you should be limiting it to? And along with that, what are the best peels to use on the neck and décolleté? So great question. If you are, this again is going to depend on the chemical peel that you are using. Now, if you're going to be using AHAs like lactics and glycolics, you can do them on the face, neck, and décolleté in the same treatment. That is totally fine. I personally only like to use lactics and glycolics on the neck. I don't like to do any other type of chemical peel in this area, just because this tends to be a harder area to recover from for our clients. And so I prefer to use lactics on the neck. TCAs, you can also do the neck, décolleté, and the face and décolleté. I don't like to do TCAs on the neck. Again, it's just a personal preference. And then if you're going to be using things like salicylic acid, a sal peel, you can only do it on one part of the body at a time. So if your client needs a sal peel on the face and the back, they would be two separate treatments. So you'll do the face in one treatment, and then they need to come back and get it done on their back. You shouldn't be doing it on more than one area at a time. And then Jesners, you have to stay above the jawline. You're not using Jesners anywhere else on the body, just on the face. So I think that's a great question.
Really good question.
Okay. What do you recommend for a client who gets overwhelmed when you're retailing products, but they are already using a cleanser and a moisturizer?
What a great question. Applaud them first of all for using products, right? Mm-hmm. But then secondly, the thing that I noticed with my skin right off, one of the tips that I got immediately was to double cleanse my skin. And this made a huge difference to me. I had always just washed my face and, went. Got put on my moisturizer and went. But I noticed a remarkable difference in my skin when I started double cleansing, taking my makeup off first and then going in with my second cleanse to actually cleanse my pores. Great. Huge difference for me. And
Yeah.
you wouldn't think that would be so easy, right? But it is.
It makes sense. Double cleansing is huge. One of my biggest tips, especially like Tracey said, applaud them for using a cleanser and moisturizer already. That's great. And if they're not double cleansing something that you'll want to have them do. But I think a way that I like to make my clients that get overwhelmed, just making sure that they're using an active leave-on treatment. Okay, that's going to help make the biggest change in their skin right away without having to commit to like this 4+ steps in their regimen. So something like the facial hydrator, AHA accelerator, or even a retinol are all great options to start helping with aging in the skin, or even the stem cell power serum. All of those are great active leave-ons that will start making drastic changes in the skin. And it's just one more product and you don't have to have them using, a bunch of things in their regimen. So.
And then we also have that kit that's already available.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Our essential kits are great if you want to get someone started on products right away. There's like 8 to 10 products. It's around $100, but we have one specifically for anti-aging. If you guys don't know about our essential kits, you need to check them out. We literally have a kit for every skin condition and skin type. Yes, and it's around $100, and they're getting 8 to 10 products, and it's a full system that's going to help them get started right away so that they can start seeing changes in their skin. But yeah, the kits are a great option.
We also have regimens on our website that you can actually print off to give them so they have something at home. I know that often I would leave a spa or my treatment and be like, okay, which product first, what second? So these regimens are fantastic. They're going to explain exactly how to use those products.
Yes, for sure. You want to make sure that they're using them after they buy them.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, another question we got asked is, oh, interesting. Sorry, this is just worded. Let me see if I can reword this a little bit. How do I explain the importance of home care after a chemical pill?
Great question. I'm going to let you go for that one.
So it is a really good question because the clients have spent all this money on this service that you've done, which is the chemical peel, and it can be hard to put more money into home care. And so we always recommend that a really great way to like get around this when you're first doing chemical pills or like with new clients is to include the cost of their home care into their pill package. And you can do those little essential kits. We actually have a post-pill kit that they can purchase. But it's so important on educating your client why they need to be using home care afterwards. And the reason for that is when we do a chemical peel, we are using stronger acids that actually remove the barrier in the skin, and we're creating a controlled wound, okay? And it's important that we're using post-care products that are going to help to put that barrier back in place and actually help the skin heal faster. So when I talk to my clients on the importance of using post-care, I let them know that I've done this professional treatment on them, and now the skin needs extra help to actually heal faster, and this will help their results. This will make their results even better. Okay, and I always like to compare it to kind of like going to the dentist. When you go to the dentist and get a professional cleaning, you don't go home and then not brush your teeth again until your next dentist appointment, right? Or at least you shouldn't be if you are doing that.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope not. But you go home and you continue to brush your teeth with a toothbrush and toothpaste. You might even floss, and you might even use mouthwash. So you're using products at home to help care for the health of your teeth in between your appointments at the dentist. And your home care is exactly like that. You need to be using products to help care for the health of your skin in between their services with you. So that's just kind of how I like to explain it to them. Number one, don't tell your client when you're doing a chemical peel that you're wounding them, even though technically you are giving them a chemical burn. Okay, but do not tell them that. I just like to say this is a professional strength treatment. I'm going to be helping your skin exfoliate the skin. I'm also going to help with functions that will tighten, firm, and brighten the skin. But don't tell them that you're burning their skin or wounding the skin. So,
speaking of burning skin, I don't know if everyone realizes our CEO actually worked in a burn unit for a while, and she we are mimicking some of those treatments that they actually used. Mm-hmm. So in a burn unit, they will actually use moist wound healing. Yep. So anytime we are putting that chemical on and actually creating that injury to the skin, we want to make sure that the products that we're sending home with them will help them with this moist wound healing. They're going to get a better result if they're using this, and you can share with them, this is what you actually is being done in burn units. So you want to make sure that you're mimicking that same regimen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, moist wound healing is something we 100% believe in at GlyMed Plus. It's a crucial step, and it's not even an option in our world. It's just a part of healing the skin is moist wound healing. So,
right.
All right, Tracey, that is all the questions that we have time for today. If we did not answer a question, or if you have additional questions, please reach out to us. You can reach out to us on Instagram. Our GlyMed Plus Instagram is run by a master esthetician named Corinne. And we actually have Amber as well. So they're both very knowledgeable and they can answer any questions. Or you can reach out to the Institute Instagram, which is GlyMed Plus _Institute. And that's the one that Tracey and I manage. So we can also answer additional questions. And then your account managers and business coordinators are also fabulous resources. Everyone that works here at GlyMed Plus is a licensed master esthetician. So we're actually here to help you in any way that we can as professionals and not as sales reps. So anything you want to add?
I just want to add that our clients our accounts are fantastic. They came up with some great questions. We appreciate this. We will be doing this again next week on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So tune in then and you'll get all you need to know about hyperpigmentation.
Yeah, it'll be a blast. Right. Like Tracey said, thank you guys so much for your time. We appreciate you choosing to be a part of this with us today. And we will see you guys next time.
All right. Have a good week.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.